the Audio Description Network Alliance bonus episode. Today, we're very happy to have Stoneface and Cooper joining us, talking about their music video with audio description. Let's jump right in.
Hey, how you doing, brother? How's it going?
Oh, I'm doing so good.
How's it going?
Put it on auto. That's like a filter. It's like an auto filter.
Is that better?
Yeah, you sound nice and compressed.
Compressed. I love it.
Oh man,
Cool.
Stoneface has a lot of, when I'm in the booth, he says he always has to turn the game down so much because I don't know. I think listening with headphones for all my life,
Sure.
I think it's catching up to me, and now I'm probably slightly deaf a little bit.
That's great. It gets your voice gets to carry to more people that way.
Yeah.
Yes. Roy, are you familiar with Stoneface's background too?
I read the article that where I reached out to Galactic Push, and so Stoneface, you had said that you lost your eyesight, so you used to have sight, and when you lost it, you wanted, based on your experience with some of the streaming services like Netflix and whatever other, I think there was one other that you mentioned that had audio description, that you use audio description, and you're like, let's use this for a music video. So is that the gist? Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, awesome, man. So, Prime, Hulu, Netflix, they all have audio descriptions. Now let's go back to the Blind Mice movie vault. Okay. I'm blind. I'm an audio technology professional. Meaning I use JAWS, I use all types of operating systems, and I listen to audio description every day, all day. And I also wanted to mesh my music side with this side. I haven't seen any of my videos since 1999. It's cool for people to say, hey, this looks like this looks like that, but it doesn't really create the audio description image blind people get when they're listening to a great movie on Netflix, right? You don't get that when you listen to a music video. So now I had a chance to do it. We were developing a press kit to give to Galactic, and I said, you know what? This is next. If we go ahead and create an audio description for our music video, it's gonna supply the younger generation of blind musicians, engineers, and producers an additional avenue to take their career just a bit further. We'll never be equal with the sighted world, but that just takes us a little bit further, and I just thought it would be awesome, and it just turned out to be great.
Yeah. And I ain't gonna lie, Roy, when he brought it up to me, I was like, how in the world can we do this? I was completely overwhelmed. I was like, how are we gonna audio describe over a song that has lyrics being performed the entire song? I'm like, how can this even be done? Stoneface had to keep calming me down. He said, listen, not only do I think we will be able to execute this, we'll be able to execute it well, and we'll be able to do it well. He's like, please just follow my lead. I deal with audio description on a daily basis. And he sent me a couple links, to some movies. I remember the Michael B. Jordan movie, No Remorse, that's on Amazon right now, on Amazon Prime, and watched it, and that has a lot of action, but still I'm like, man, but there's lyrics going on the whole time. There's rapping, there's singing. I'm like, how can we do this? And it definitely was an interesting process. It was an unorthodox way, but
it was.
I'd love to tell you about the process. It was interesting.
Yeah, very rarely does the blind get a chance to introduce the sight into our world. We're always introduced into their world with our white canes, traveling and such. But in this case, this is our world. So to calm these guys down and say, hey, just chill out for a second. Here's a couple audio description faves that I have. Check these out. There's various types of audio description. You have commercial audio description. You have action movie audio description, where that closely matches what we did. Okay, and then you have dramatic movie audio description, where it's more spaced out throughout the movie. So the biggest challenge was getting them to enter into the blind world. And once I got Cooper in, Our guy, our audio description guy, we'll talk about Rock in a second because he's amazing within himself.
Yes.
Cooper opened up the door for Rock to enter into the blind world. And I'll tell you, once I got these guys into our world, it was a wrap. It was over. And I think the ending product was great.
And I love how you said, Stoneface, about, okay, Cooper, calm down, chill out, we got this.
He did. No.
There's an adjustment, right?
He's probably describing it a lot calmer than it really was, because I really had a lot of anxiety about it. I was really like, I didn't think we can do it. I really didn't think we could do it. I'll be honest with you. And then I thought we would have to use audio ducking,
which was a choice. Mm-hmm.
But with Stone and our small, like,
listening gallery.
Yeah.
We got nice opinions. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had like a little focus group. You know, we had a focus group, and and the audio ducking seemed to take away from the song, because you want to enjoy the video, but you also want to enjoy the song. The whole idea is to enjoy both, not one more than the other.
Yeah, that was the balancement right there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But so I was like, how can we do that? And he kept calming me down, and we sat down and we wrote the script together, and we basically used my site and also his ears. So so what we did was, you know, he was like, describe, you know, I first watched the video and tried to describe any like major, you know, action that came on the screen, or a scene change, credits, you know, anything significant visually.
Mm-hmm.
And I did my best to describe that. And then he said, okay, now bring back the video, play the video, you know, perform it, say, you know, all the descriptions. And then anywhere he felt there was a gap where he would wonder what is going on in this particular part, he's like, we got to fill that in. We got to fill that in.
because there's a particular rhythm that we were trying to achieve, along with the dialogue track, along with the main audio track. I mastered the audio track, mix and mastered it. So I'm very familiar with the frequencies used with the low end and such. The thing about the dialogue was putting air under it, not wanting to collide with those 300 to 400 frequencies that makes things muddy. You don't want that with the dialogue track. So I was pushing air up under it. We didn't want it to collide with the awesome rhythm of the reggae. This is reggae dancehall. This isn't, you know, R&B. This isn't really hip hop. This is reggae, and they love reggae, you know. So I didn't want to take from Trophy Sniper. This isn't actually our song. We're the Elohim team together. This is Trophy Sniper songs. He's the #1 artist, or near #1 artist on the island of Jamaica right now.
Yes.
All right. So it was a pleasure working with him. So it was walking a fine line. It was really walking a fine line, putting that dialogue track down.
Because we didn't. Stone, what you said there too is which I think was real important. It was important with how he described it. He really wanted the audio description to have like a unique rhythm and cadence. You know, so the audio description actually has like its own unique rhythm and cadence that kind of draws you in, and it feels comfortable. You know, it doesn't feel like somebody just reading description on you know, on top. It feels good.
And that's the project. That's the funny thing. The funny thing is, okay, so we had Cooper doing it first, and Cooper's a rapper. So he's like, so the dialogue like, wait. You can't rap it. You have to talk. You have to say it like you're talking to a kindergarten class, not that blind people are children, but you have to speak in that authoritative voice, and you have to speed up. Okay, your voice rate has to speed up, like on our with voiceover or talkback. Got to speed that up a little bit to match the song, but you can't sound ridiculous.
And that's where our buddy DJ Rock M came into play. because he's got that voice. He has a radio show, you know, and he's also had, you know, some voiceover experience doing commercials and such.
Yeah, talk about him for a second, please.
And he's a great musician too. He plays the trumpet on a couple of our songs on our new upcoming album. But we were like, this guy would be the perfect guy. He's got a radio show. It's called My Voice Only. And he's got the voice. We're like, if we can get him on board and get him to do this, it could be amazing.
Yeah, he has that grandfather voice. Smoking a cigar, watching the football game on a Sunday around 5 o'clock. He has that voice, you know.
So now we had a script, right? And then we had a script. Now we had a script reader, somebody that can do it. But now we're like, how are we gonna line this up in, you know, how are we gonna line up the video with the audio description? Because when we recorded the video, that audio was slightly different than the master audio, because in the video we added a bumper in the beginning that had the record label. So we had to now line it up. So Stone, who uses Logic, you know, we basically uploaded the video into an unlisted link on YouTube, and we pressed record on Logic and play on the video at the same time, and uploaded that that audio now into Logic, and then Stone added a metronome count in, so DJ Rock M, who was in the vocal booth, can be watching the video on the unlisted link on YouTube on his laptop, but getting counted in from Logic's metronome that Stone set up. And then we were able to all be in sync, which
was tricky.
Yes.
And so voiceover users who use the Mac know there's a slight latency or a slight delay. You'll hear when you hit that space bar, you'll hear the sound, but it's not actually starting till the sound ends. So you have to compensate for that and pull it back. Okay, you have to go to your ticks and pull it about 5 ticks back, not 10, but about 5 ticks back, and boom, it matched right on alignment. And so as the audio description was going, they're looking at the video like, oh, it's all matching, and I'm just sitting back at at my little workstation smiling like, finally.
Yeah, he knew we got it. He knew we nailed it. Even when we thought a couple things were a little slightly off, he was like, nah, once I make these minor adjustments, he's like, this is going to be on to the T, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, the hardest part was probably also nailing it in one shot, because if we started to rewind or come back, now we're not in sync. Remember, we have a count in that's counting in from the beginning of the video. So we're all lined up and in sync. So the minute we were to rewind or something like that, we would no longer be in sync. So I think that made for us to get a better performance because we had to nail it. So like we had to keep bringing it back to the point where it was when DJ Rakim was speaking, it was like second nature. Like he knew it at that point. And
that's where you want it. And that's where you want. It's just like recording vocals, okay, for an artist. Give them a couple takes, but guess what? Their voice isn't hot yet. They're not hot yet. Okay, so when that voice warmed up and Rock started to get that Morgan Freeman voice, right? He's ready now. So once everybody was up and the engines were cooking, we were in alignment. And again, it all started back when Cooper entered the blind world. And he accepted my craziness.
Well, because Roy, I mean, it's even like when we're recording, Stoneface generally serves as our, not only is he an artist, he's a recording engineer. So a lot of times I'm hearing all the voice commands and everything, and I had to get used to that at first. Like even just being in the being in the booth, like hearing the voice commands, telling them like, okay, now press record, this track's on, and it's like that fast talking, you know what I mean? And it was like, and I'll be honest,
I took it away. I took voice out.
Yeah, you did, because I was like, man, but it took a minute to get used to it, but then you start, then it's just there, it's just there.
So Stoneface, how was it for you? Like, when was that moment that you saw that Cooper was on board? Like, it's clear that he trusts you. Like, that's a given. But there was something that was a little new to this. Like, was there a moment where it's like, okay, he's listened to some audio description, whether it was that movie that you shared with him on the streaming service? Well, was there a moment, or was it kind of gradual and incremental?
There was a moment. We had to calm him down. I'm like, listen, Cooper, chill, bro. It's going to be okay. No, just, you see, Rock and I decided together that this is not going to work. I said, two-sighted guys are going to tell a blind guy that audio description is not going to work?
Yeah,
no,
he's not lying. He's not lying.
No. This is how it's going to go. And I'll show you. So I kind of freestyled the audio description because I know the song, a little bit. And then he said, okay, I'll tell you what, let me make a coffee. Like he needed more coffee at that point.
Yeah.
I'll make a coffee and then we'll sit down and do it. So for 2 hours, Roy, 2 hours, we sat there and we made that script, and I broke the ice and the glass ceiling. And once I got him, he trained Rock and literally stood with Rock during the entire session. And that was unique within itself. And I'm telling you, once he was on board, it was awesome because he saw how powerful it could be, and that was the moment. That first day when he lost his mind, he had, I don't know if he needs hair club for men now, or, the gray or whatever, but the final product was good, man.
Wow, that's great. And it sounds like also you both have mentioned the process of audio description, that it's not as simple as, oh, you just put it up there. I mean, the intricacies involved in how you did it. You were talking about the decision of choosing DJ Rakim and the decision of like the thoughtfulness that you put into it. Like, you don't want to interrupt the rhythm, and it's got to be a collaboration between all the different moving parts. It's really exciting. Did you find that there were some surprises in the creation where you had to adapt on the fly, or was it pretty clean?
Yeah, so I had to go in and kind of latch the volume up in certain places, and then kind of level everything off and pinch it up a little bit, and then pinch it back down. I'm like, oh, that's not working. Add a little bit of space reverb to make the dialogue more bubbly and bigger. Nah, that's too much. And then I'm not going to tell you which plug I used, but I said, oh, here it is. And it gave air without losing his tone. There it is. And once I found that and I matched it with the master of the audio track, it was over. I think I had to take a little bit of edge, sibilance, a little bit of the edge off of his vocal, at the last mastering point. Because in Logic, when you master, sometimes it adds too much edge. And then you'll have to go back and just kind of EQ that edge down a little bit. It makes the vocals too sharp for me. But once that happened, we were in,
And then it was like, wow, we did this without audio ducking. And I think that made it even better.
It would have took away from the music, the mix too much. That, to me, and I was the first person that has the ducking. I'm sorry, brother, go ahead.
And I was the first person to say, there's no way we can do this without audio ducking. And he kept telling me, he's like, listen, you're talking to a blind man. I'm telling you, we have to do it like this because I want to enjoy the song too. Yeah. And that's where we came up with, because he goes, the minute we do that, every time it's ducking, you're not enjoying the song. You want to enjoy these two things together. And he goes, if I can create enough separation when I'm EQing it, and we create a unique rhythm and cadence to the audio description, we will be able to nail this without audio ducking. And I am so happy that we did it that way.
Yeah. And the care that you put into it, because you cared so much about the original audio, it's like everything's being respected here. I'm curious, you had said earlier about the feedback that you were getting in the creation of it. I'm curious also about maybe some feedback that you've gotten after releasing the audio description video. What's been your feedback?
Well, generally, it's been great. We had 23 blogs around the world, from Germany, I believe Canada, UK.
Canada, UK.
Once we dropped it, before we actually dropped, we came out in the paper in Montego Bay on a headline, color paper. We have that, and there's a couple people that you can tell they were sighted and didn't understand audio description. It annoyed them a little bit. And I get that. Some people don't have the patience for it. Some people said that the dialogue kind of collided with the track a little bit. I didn't get that, but everybody has ears. You know what I mean? So you have to respect everyone's opinion. But generally, I would say 97% of the feedback was like, wow, man, this is dope. This is something different right here. I'm thank you. I'm glad you guys did this. It opened up another avenue, and truly, Busta Rhymes and King Stevie, I'm so happy you told me that. We had no idea. We actually have an engineer that was Busta Rhymes or Flip Mode Squad's head engineer, who did engineer work on one of my albums, Star Blaze. Years ago, I was signed to a different record label, and we put out a song called Padlock, and it was my first time on Billboard charts. So we scored in the top 100. And we did a video out in Vegas. We were the first rap group that shut down Fairmount Avenue, Under the Lights. Besides Bad Boy, that was a major accomplishment.
Did it.
Yeah,
they were the only other people.
In return, we landed on Billboard, and Eric engineered that. Eric passed away. He was from Long Island. So when you said Busta Rhymes, I said, oh wow, it still connects us in because Eric was his.
Wow. He might have even been the engineer who did this project that you're speaking of.
It's about 15, 17 years old. Yeah.
We should look in, because Eric was working for Quad Studio at that time in Manhattan. Yeah, we should look into that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, and then we got very happy when we had we had some major platforms put up this video, and I still think they didn't completely understand it until they really started like diving into the press release and reading everything. But one platform I really want to mention, who I think did a great job of really getting this out there everywhere, was Hip Hop DX, and they got like about 1 million followers, and that really helped snowball this all over the place.
It really did.
It really did. And I just really wish that YouTube had a button where we can just click the button and now it play our audio description. We had to upload 2 separate videos.
Yeah,
so we had to
upload
the audio description version and another version. And it shouldn't be that way. It should be one link only, and you hit a button, and then you got audio description. I don't think that's right.
I think they're working on something. There's a few, it's not everywhere yet, but I think they're working on something, and it's slow going, but it's going to be, I don't know. I don't want to be too kumbaya about this, but it seems like there's a lot of different growth, not only in the technology, like you're talking about with that simple button, that access, beyond just having access to the audio description, but having access to being able to turn on the audio description in an easy way.
Right.
And so it's the technology, it's also the culture that now people are becoming more aware of disability and access in that sense. And it's like between the Hip Hop DX that you're talking about, you guys actually exploring how to do this and kind of carving your own way to make it happen. Okay, so
it has to.
Yeah, right? So
it has to. Sorry.
Well, let's ask you, Stoneface, Cooper, with this experience that you had with this music video, do you see yourself doing more audio description for future music videos, or was this a one shot?
We have to. These guys are lucky. I don't make them go back and do it for every video that I've done. Okay. And I have like 12 videos from all my projects. Listen, Cooper, you better get rocked because I want to be able to enjoy my videos, and I'm sure other hip hop artists that are blind, and there are several, they should do it too, so that they can enjoy their videos. And I also want to say, please, thanks to Blind New World, Blind Abilities, a lot of these Twitter guys that I follow and they follow me. Thanks for retweeting the tweets. There a lot of people in the blind community really got behind this.
Wonderful.
Professional organizations, and it means everything to me because I'm blind, and and this is my world, and for our community to embrace it is awesome, because now maybe we can kind of focus things and create careers, more careers for young blind people, or you don't have to be young, that have that audio ear and they want to be engineers in the commercial arena. They might want to be an engineer in the music arena. They can do it. They can be audio describers. They can do it. This is what I do professionally for a living. I mentor young blind entrepreneurs to be business people. I train a multitude of access technologies, and I've been doing it for years. So this is nothing new to me. And I want to make sure that my path is clear for those coming behind me. And thanks to my brother right there, William Cooper, Trophy Sniper, Rock, Gemstar Regime, thank God, the Galactic Push, they did an awesome job. They made this possible, bro.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, that's great.
Really.
Yeah, no, and it was great getting the feedback from people. I got a couple people that were blind reach out to me on like Instagram and Twitter, and they told me that, like, you really made me be able to see this, and they feel that it was so, they weren't just excited about our song and video per se. They were excited that this may open the door for more of this happening. For more, they felt like, wow, anything is possible now. Sky's the limit now. You guys cracked open the door to let us all in, you know. So, and that felt good.
Yeah.
That felt good.
Yeah.
We're doing more. We're going to do more. We have several songs coming up. Hopefully we'll be doing a tour over in Jamaica. They're screaming for us over there, but they're unfortunately locked down right now due to this this thing going around.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll get over there. Well, we will get over there, no doubt. And we'll do more, and we'll continue to open the path up for artists who are blind that want to get into it. And you can always reach out to me personally. I'm approachable. My head is not in the clouds. I make my own waves. I'm a wave runner. I don't follow the wave. I go against it. You understand? So, hey, let's be creative. Let's open the world up for creative, for creativity for the blind, period. Use your brain, man. Be creative, explore. Music is about creativity. Everyone's going to have an opinion, and just do what you love to do, and I want to, just promote that and just bring that out in the community in general.
One of the things I'm hearing from you, Stoneface, is that and I'm going to make some generalized comments that aren't really fair. There's a lot of great companies that provide audio description for entertainment, specifically TV and film, but I'm going to use the term legacy audio description in the context of just checking the box. It's like the goal of some, not all, there's been a handful of companies who have only provided audio description just to check the box, just to do the bare minimum. And by you emphasizing the creativity and the process and the decisions within the script writing and the casting, and you being directly involved in every step of the way and emphasizing the creativity, that unfortunate legacy old way of doing things, of just checking the box, you're now making it, how far can we go? And you saying sky is the limit, just I'm on mute and I'm clapping my hands.
Yeah. And you have to, we are in a digital sound world, whereas everything is synthetic sounding, which I hate. I try to look for tube compressors, old vintage compressors. I like that old sound. I'm old school. I actually took engineering classes. I went to school for music and video business. I sat at a 48-track console, TAC Magnum, okay, with the 8 subs to the right, just huge, all of my whole career. So I know how to get that good sound, and it's not overnight. You can't just hit a plug and say, hey, I'm done. Those are default settings.
Yeah.
It's meant for you to go in and tweak, create your own sound, you
Uh-huh.
know, and that's music. And audio description is sound to me. So
Yeah, no,
that's music.
this was personal. It was personal.
Right.
It wasn't checking a box. Like some people go,
No.
okay, like you said, oh, this many people asked, oh, can you provide audio description? Maybe if we get another 10,000 people, we'll provide it. You know, that's how I think some companies look at it. Like, okay, people keep asking, okay, we'll do it. That wasn't the case here. This was something personal, and it got a personal touch on it. It really was a project within a project. It wasn't just another element that we were adding to the video. Like we spent days, you know, getting this right, and hours getting this right. It wasn't just like, okay, let's read something on top of here, and that's audio description, and there we go, it's good. We made sure not only that, like when things were being described, even if they weren't at the exact moment that it was happening,
within that scope.
It was within that sentence, within that time Rock was speaking, that thing was happening on the screen. And that was, we really gave it the personal touch of making sure that it was always like exact. We wanted to give the proper window. Our job is to describe this and paint the picture and basically be like a translator. So if we're not doing that correctly, we're not being right. We're not being righteous. We're being wrong.
Yeah.
You know, so it definitely got a personal touch.
And that paint the picture, what a great expression. We interviewed Joe Strechay for the co-producer of C, Apple TV Plus's C series, and he also, there's something about that painting the picture that it really works with audio description. I'm curious.
Joe Strechay, he retweeted one of our tweets. Thank you, Joe. I know of Joe Strechay. I know about Joe Strechay. Thank you, Joe, very much. And he understands that we're trying to move blindness forward. We're not going to stay stagnated, not in my professional arena or in the music arena. We're going to push blind production forward, audio production forward, and we're going to keep moving forward, man. And he's a professional, you know, he's very respected. I know all about Joe. And there's a lot of professionals in the blind community that do audio production. And you were saying about audio description as it pertains to like movie. The best audio description is when the audio describer matches the movie, the tone of the movie, the excitement of the movie. I want to hear the excitement of your mouth, right? Of the energy of your mouth, right? And that relates to what's going on in the movie. When you go to church, if anyone's ever been to church, when the pastor gets excited, that's when the congregation gets up and starts clapping. That's what I want.
What a great analogy.
Right.
Very cool. Well, anything else that either of you want to share with our audience?
Please, if you can, go to YouTube. If you go to the search field, just type in Trophy Sniper featuring the Elohim team, Silent Killer, and the audio description and normal versions will go up. Take a listen to the audio description version. If you like it, please hit the like button. If you don't like it, don't hit the don't like button. No,
but yeah, and Silent Killer is spelled Killa. Just so when you guys are doing a search, that's how that is spelled. But yeah, please watch both videos. Hopefully pretty soon YouTube will catch up and we'll just be watching one link, and we'll be pressing a button that would activate the audio description. But for now, we got two, so check them both out. And me and Stoneface, collectively, we're known as the Elohim team, and we're about 65-70% done with our debut album as a group. So it's pretty exciting, and we can't wait to present our new music to the world.
And now that we're ending this, my brain is functioning correctly again. It's not frozen because of a podcast. I'm going to try to ensure that we do something special with our album for the blind community.
Absolutely.
Okay, especially with the cover artwork, we put a lot of time into everything we do. So the cover artwork, we spend a lot of time on. Each individual song is going to have cover artwork, and I'm gonna make sure that the blind listener is going to understand what that cover artwork is. Wherever I can insert myself, and anything that can help the blind, you can expect that through anything that I do. And my audio production is called Messiah Music, and I'm signed to Gemstar Recordings. Thanks a lot for having us. Thanks to Galactic Push for everything that they did. And the future is ours. We're going to reach for the stars now as blind people. You know, the eagle has given us his sight now, so we're going to fly, baby.
That's great. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Stoneface. And thanks again,
Absolutely.
Cooper, for both of you joining us. This has been great.
Thanks, Roy. Yeah, it's been
Have
fun.
a great one.